Hello, exiles. Welcome back to SSF in the company of Paco, our Invoker. He's currently level 90 and hasn't had too many changes. We're still using the high elemental damage increase water stuff. Couldn't find any better running the kills trials. We did add this small offhand focus with fast start of energy shield recharge, and that's a mouthful, and better energy shield recharge rate because we were using meditate, and that this seems to improve the amount of time spending meditating. But we've spec'd out of meditate back into unbound avatar because we want to try and run some Pinnacle content. Right now, our Simulacrum level is 0. We've never completed a Simulacrum. Mostly because we were waiting for the Simulacrum changes that came in 2.0G or 2.0F, and we never got around to it. So let's try and run the tier 0 together. See what's going on. As always, we stop to gather the initial power charges so we can charge the stuff.
Remember this ramshackle place? A second home, and yet something seems off, does it not?
I don't know what you're talking about. This seems pretty natural to me. So let's start the waves.
Horrors and survived. I think it's time to at last test your limits.
We're gonna clear the waves. We'll take it slow. For a tier 0, which is a monster level 80, we're pretty safe as long as we keep a close eye on what's going on the screen. Don't spend too much time. And the prismatic ring, that's nice. How do we progress from here? We start the next wave. Okay. Oh, and here's a problem with the build here. Since the Simulacrum entities don't drop corpses, there's nothing to activate your profane ritual on. So in between waves, we have to regenerate our power charges manually. Okay, we're gonna do that. But our energy shield seems to be keeping at high levels. So now that we know we have to regenerate power charges, let's do that. And reset the and reset the charge staff.
This is only the beginning.
We didn't, since we had no changes since the last time we saw Paco run the kills trials. We didn't improve the gear, we didn't change it. There are ways to improve the gear, and if you're trying to run this in the trade league, you maybe have a more consistent damage output by, instead of focusing completely on lightning damage in your gear, you can find some quarter stuff with added elemental damage, but of other types than lightning, which would decrease your damage ranges would definitely increase your minimal damage range, minimal damage value. So then your damage variance wouldn't be that high. Also on your rings that you're using, you could add other elemental types. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe the build works just the same, just as good with full physical. Who's say? I don't have the gear to check that out. Another wave has been completed.
Let yourself be drawn into the mire.
Oh. And we started talking and forgot about the power charges. As you can see, the build can deal enough damage, especially if you roll high, even without the charge staff, which adds a lot of damage. And Omniphobia is here. Okay. We are ready to become unbound. Let's become unbound and see if we can target Omniphobia. So, minimal damage is nothing but a scrape. A tower shield, I think that's okay. Let's recharge our... Oh, that's not the button. And move on. How many waves were there? 15 all. We've just completed 5. I don't know if Flicker Strike would be something you can easily use in this encounter, because you're not generating power charges out of the corpses, so when our energy shield is down, our life total is being decreased, but it seems we do have enough effective HP to live through that. Okay, get power charges. Reset the power charges. Is this the way forward? Yes.
Are you trying to cleanse yourself of me?
Maybe if we can wait a little bit for more enemies to show up and then drop a Flicker Strike, but either way the power charges would have been spent. Who's this? This is Kosis, ready to become unbound. So usually you scrape them, but when you do get a lucky roll on the damage, more than half of the boss's health. Do I want to pick that? Maybe I want to pick that up. It seems to be going... Oh, we have to start another wave. And we forgot to reset our power charges. And during this encounter, there will not be a chance to reset our power charges, so maybe we can add some additional damage by way of the war cry. That did help a bit. The enemies are not that clear on the screen, what with the fog and their transparent models. Okay, got enough power charges.
You
We're only
can't get
halfway.
rid of the exile. I have you.
We have been slowed by something. That was a nice pack. Stormwave is comfortable at this level. I don't know if the build will handle the next year. We already seem to have problems in in clearing everything all at once. So let's regenerate the power charges. Power charges up.
Nothing
Let's.
you do matters. The dream will end,
Ah,
and the dreamer will pass into the next world.
looks like in this set of waves we could just stand in the corner. Let's give it a shot. Stand in the corner and just spam the wave. Okay. Oh, that was a large chunk of our life. And another large chunk of our life. Oy, oy. Luckily we have some instant health potions. Okay, we got through that. Luckily. I wonder if we can survive the next waves. So we're back where we started. Let's get some power charges. And there are 4 more waves. I wonder what's next. Let's close that. Maybe we can do the same in this area. Just sit here and spam. Yeah, they won't let us. You gotta kill something. Ay. Does that reset our wave counter? It does turn out to be just a bit more complicated in the last waves, does it? But who knows, maybe we'll get lucky. Since we lost our charge staff, we're losing a lot of DPS. Let's try and improve our DPS, because right now Stormwave is somewhere at 33,000. With the charge staff you get to 48, so
Do you not wonder what
50%, huh?
What stands as fine the abyss and beckons you to fall?
Yeah, we do not wonder about that. Thank you, stranger familiar voice. That's gonna be some damage, but okay, this is a defensible location. Let the waves come. Lost attack speed there for a second. this? With the war cries, we're still only dealing minimal damage on the low rolls. But you can get through it with a little patience and being a little careful, a little more careful. And those were only 2 waves, so let's be ready for the last ones. We already have 2 deaths. We don't need 4 more. Let's not be happy about the mighty falling, because we are also one of the mighty. What's going on there? I can't see a thing. Lost all of the buffs, but maybe we can just... Oh, yeah, is here.
I cannot.
Okay. Oh god, no. Okay. Kosis. You wanna teleport into me and deal lots of damage. Lots of damage. Hey, we still have health potion. And no, we can't flicker, we can't improve the damage, we don't have power charges. And that was not the last wave, was it? There's one more.
Arms for the monastery.
Says 14 out of 15. Ah, 2 more. Okay. Let's see if we can... how's our power? Our mana flask? Let's be safe about this. Go back into the hideout, count tower. Attempts, 3 more attempts. Okay. Now, default attacks of Simulacrum monsters, they don't poison nor start bleeding you, so maybe the charms are not the best for this encounter, but now that we're here, let's see what the build as it is can do. Okay, wave 14. So we should expect both of the bosses to be while we are trying to clear the waves. I'd like to mention that I've been looking into possible improvements for the build, maybe for... That's an overhead slam that we did not live through. Okay. Being an Invoker and having some critical damage, critical chance nodes in our ascendancies. Last attempt, eh? Okay, one of the bosses is down, and there will not be enough chances for our unbound avatar to to activate. Oi! How much was that? That was too much. I guess Simulacrum is still out of the question for the build. Mostly because our power charge generation is too slow.
Is it? Of course.
Let me just clear my inventory, and maybe then after that we'll try and take on something else, another type of pinnacle. Got about 20 minutes. We could try an audience with the king. Again, the power charge generation here will be difficult, but since there are no additional waves, maybe we can do something about it. So and it's lore accurate. The Invokers is supposed to be a disciple of the benevolent dreamer, and 4 attempts. And the King in the Mist should be an interpretation of the dreamer, so it's going up against his own boss, against his own god. Okay, enough power charges. Let's get some more. Okay. So then we just that was one flicker strike. Let's try and get our skeletons back so we can get more charges. And that was with Infernal Cry and Charge Staff. Let's try another one. That seemed to go a little bit better.
That cheap ploy. He will not escape me.
Yes, he will not escape you. We see the... Let's try and keep those power charges up to max. Get back into the arena.
The Wild One's power is
There he is. He's in a corner. We don't like bosses in a corner. That was a large roll. A very large roll. Do we have this maybe? Maybe we'll check this out, see if it's not that good. So that was 3 attempts. So this is 4 attempts. That was tier 1 King in the Mist. The Benevolent Dreamer wants us to try the next level. We're still very much dependent on the damage rolls. If we're lucky with large damage rolls, then yeah, maybe the encounter ends quickly. Shall we give it a shot at the next level? Let's try. Let's try. Tier 2. As I believe, yeah, I believe Clara managed to defeat Tier 2 and had a chance at Tier 4. Let's see what this build can do. Maybe we'll be lucky and we'll be rolling the higher end of our lightning damage. Okay. Not this time. This time we're only... This time we had only scratched the boss. Let's get some more power charges. Seems that right here on the...
Nothingness approaches.
Can't say. I mean, that was much better. Maybe we're lucky and we end the encounter here. No, we are forced into the transition.
That cheap ploy
Okay,
will not escape me.
let's gather power charges while we follow the wisps. Is this a way forward? Okay, we have 8 power charges and 7 charge staff. It's only armored and evasive, so there is nothing special about... Okay.
So long as you know me, I will always exist.
Yeah. Robe, staff. Wand, focus. Okay. Paco is doing great with the King in the Mist.
A moment of stillness.
One of the situations where the disciple has overgrown the master, or what do you call that? Gotta say, I'm pretty excited by the fact that the build handles King in the Mist that easily, as it should, as an explosive type of build. When you do get your complete setup and you activate the Flicker Strike, it should pretty much delete anything less than, I don't know, 5 million. Why would I say 5 million? Well, because the Trail Master has 3 and you've seen him fall in less than half of the strikes that Flicker Strike should do. I guess there's nothing to do but try the ritual again, King in the Mist again. On the next level, yeah, so this would be a tier 3. I leveled 82. Glad to see we can take the time to set up the power charges here and we don't aggro the boss. Okay, more power charges. Why only 7?
Kill us, brute!
Okay, we are doubling Eternal Pride. Let's try that again. So as you see, if Flicker Strike doesn't teleport around the boss, it doesn't really seem to do a lot of damage. Not sure why. There's nothing in the skill description that requires it to move. There were a lot of strikes there, and we've only done... Okay, where are you, mister? Do you see him? Ah, there he is. the fact that we are not immune to damage while striking. Okay, let's try again. Double Infernal Cry.
And they said true. Nothingness approaches.
Oh, okay.
A cheap ploy. He will not escape me.
Yeah. Lucky rolls. If you get the lucky roll, or at least half of your lucky rolls, half of the rolls being lucky, you could, since the build could handle this this level as well. Okay, Mr. King in the Mist. 9 million damage. Not sure what's going on. The second phase is always luckier than the first one. Getting staves for
The world
days.
still holds surprises.
So maybe try a tier 4 ritual.
Speed.
Maybe try a tier 4 ritual. Sure. What's the worst that could happen? Let me just set this here. Skill mana cost, convert life cost, skill gain 1% damage as chaos damage per free life cost. Interesting. Too bad it's a level 84 stuff. I am raising a Acolyte of Chayula build, and maybe this would help. We'll see. To get up to, let's see, a 50% gained chaos damage, you'd have to pay 150 life. That's not something that you could get with difficult. Yeah, what I want to say is it's doable. Coming back to this build, tier 4, right? Tier 4, King in the Mist. So Unbound Avatar is completely useless. Full power charges.
Kill the stranger.
2 Infernal Cries. Failure. Failure. Yeah. Well, it's doable, but we're not gonna try again today. I think taking on his Benevolent Dreamer in the Crux of Nothingness is one of Paco's ambitions. He's just fulfilled. The build can still be improved, of course. This is SSF. You'd have to be very lucky to improve it. One of the clear improvement points is the staff. You'd want to have, maybe at this stage with our setup, the increased elemental damage with attacks and some higher fire and cold rolls Crit damage bonus helps when you do get a crit. And another improvement point is something to use in custom critical when there are no corpses to gain your power charge from. And at the moment, the only way you can gain power charges in the game is by either by profane ritual and raising power charges from the corpses, or by culling enemies, I believe. Let me just so go to all gems and say power charge. So Falling Thunder consumes, grants power charge. Let's see. Okay, so either by culling enemies or consuming shocks. I wonder if this can help us in interesting. I'll use it in a I'll use it instead of profane ritual against bosses. See, maybe that helps us. But for the moment, this is all that Paco wanted to share with you. He is unexpectedly strong, stronger than I would have imagined. Maybe he'll take on more bosses and stronger bosses once he gets some better damage rolls on the staff and the rings. So, you know, we increase that minimum damage threshold to something that feels more comfortable. Until then, Paco says goodbye, and I say goodbye, exiles.